up, and we got green water over the cabin of my 30-foot boat that we went out to go check out, because you get those short, steep swells coming down the channel, and it might flatten out a little bit outside, but the Weather Service assures us it's going to be a build, and we just don't see where going out for one race outside, even when it's gnarly, would be advantageous or safe. I know those of you who have been coming here for a while can remember some NOODs in the past. We've had some people overboard when it starts to get windy and pitchy. Rough sea state, that's usually the spoiler around here, is the sea state. And I think it's best for us to just be prudent. It's supposed to build and be crazy tomorrow as well. So this may be the first annual NOOD Bay Race regatta. And right now we have a southerly. And what we're going to do is start you in the vicinity of 17, like we do for the hot runs. You're going to have a beat, more or less, up to Ballast Point. And I believe Amendment 3 shows Mark 1 and 1A. Those two marks will be yellow cones, and they'll be on opposite sides of the channel. And we learned the first time we ran this bay course in the hot run, putting one weather mark made for some really dangerous traffic at that turning mark. So that's when we came up with the idea of having two marks on either side of the bay. So when you get to Mark 1, don't do a 180-degree turn, do a 90-degree turn. Go across the channel, you'll round a second yellow mark, and then you'll proceed down the bay. We have two courses. We have Course 9 and Course 10. Course 9 is a shorter course, it's 6 miles, and there will be a yellow cone set about mid-Harbor Island. And you'll notice that where the neck of Harbor Island is, there's a traffic light right there. That'll be about where the yellow mark is on the water. In the water, of course. And then the long course, another yellow mark will be down by the Marriott. And the long course is 9 miles, the short course is 6 miles. We will be giving different fleets different courses. The larger boats will start out with probably a long course, and the smaller boats will get a shorter course. Where in the middle of the fleet we change that, we're not sure yet. It depends on the wind speed. So pay attention. The other important point for Amendment 3 is how we will signal your class. We will try and be liberal with our communications on the radio on channel 6.8 and 6.9. Not sure how we're going to do both at the same time yet. But we would signal, for instance, and I think in the amendment it talks about, you know what your course assignment is. So boats that are on Course A and boats that are on Course B. We will signal the starting fleet by putting the course letter first and the fleet number pennant underneath that. So the J120s, for instance, would be Alpha flag over number 1 pennant. The Beneteau 40.7s would be Bravo flag with numeral pennant 1. Is everybody clear on that? We will try and announce the fleet on the radio before we hoist it, or as we're hoisting it, so you guys can know what's coming up. And we're going to kind of do descending order, fast boats, next boat, next boat, next boat, what we perceive to be slowest boats at the end. And it will kind of follow the starting order, in fact. Going first start, Course A, first start, Course B. First start, second start, Course A, second start, Course B. That'll be our logic for calling the starts. And we intend to do more than one race. We'll probably do 2, if not 3, hoping it works out nicely. I personally sincerely hope the wind builds to epic proportions to justify our decision to stay inside and give you guys some really good sport in the bay. Not too much that we have to go to the sailmakers tonight and overwhelm them, but we'll see. Are there questions?
On the sheet for Mark 2, the words say mid-Shelter Island, and the picture says mid-Harbor Island.
That is a misprint. Thank you. Follow the map, not the words. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll repeat the question. In the mark description on the amendment, it says for Mark 2, it says for Mark number 2, in vicinity of SD buoy 21, which is correct, but it goes on to say mid-Shelter Island. That is a mistake. It should be mid-Harbor Island. I'm sorry, one more time before you start. Everybody clear on where buoy 2 is? Harbor Island.
Is it near 21 or near Harbor Island CRA start?
Yes. It'll be the only yellow buoy in that vicinity.
You'll have two flags on the committee boat. The top flag will be the course, the bottom flag will be the fleet.
Yes.
The top flag you said would be
It's to be Alpha or Bravo.
Alpha or Bravo, which means course 9 or course 10.
Negative. Negative. Good question. To clarify, the course that you will sail is a numeral placard on the boat, and it is a black surface with a white number, just like you would see a course 4 or course 3. The way we reference what group or venue you're sailing is also confusing because that's course A or course B. So the way we call out the group that we're signaling, pennant number 1 as it applies to course A, which would be the J120s. The course, whether you're going long or short, you're looking for a 9 or 10 in the slot on Corinthian. And Corinthian will be the signal boat for the start and finish. Gentleman back here.
Can you clarify restrictions on the starting line going downwind?
Really don't think it'll be relevant, but we haven't said it's a restriction, so it's not. But the most direct path to your next mark is nowhere near the starting line.
Okay, check it.
Thank you.
So you said you're going to go big boats first, or faster boats first. That means you're going to go maybe A, J120s, and then go B, big boat out B.
Yeah.
Correct, and to reiterate, we're going to use the starting order as our clue, and we're going to alternate between Alpha and Bravo courses. So more than likely it'll be J120s, Beneteau 40.7s, J105s, 36.7s, 109s, 80s, Catalina 36s.
So Jeff, pennant assignments, are they listed somewhere?
The starting pennant that you would have on your boat is listed in your registration packet in your fleet groups. Yes, sir.
I beg your pardon, but I don't understand A and B. I was thinking 9 and 10 were A and B. So what is course A and what is course B?
Okay. Yeah, why don't you go talk to Susie, and she'll help. More questions?
Just confirmation on buoy 1A is an offset and not a gate.
Correct. It is a mark to be rounded. There are no gates on this course. More questions? The question was to confirm that 1 and 1A is not a gate that you can take through the middle. It is mark 1 to be left to port, mark 1A to be left to port. Correct. Correct. 5 minutes between starts? No. Important question. The question was, is it a rolling clock? 5 minutes between starts? Not necessarily. We will make announcements. We'll try and be verbal on VHF radio with your starting sequence. We may put a little extra space in between some fleets and others. Please observe the signals made on the signal boat and listen to your VHF radios. Good question. More questions? Yes, sir.
Standard check-in with the committee boat.
You know what? Check-in's not going to be required. I see a lot of traffic trying to go by one boat. I don't think that's necessary. We're going to be inside. Nobody's going outside. Whether or not you choose to participate or not is up to you, and we'll reflect on this notice board.
Can you just clarify AG course again?
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm going to try this one more time. So in the sailing instructions, there are two uses for the word course. And I understand this is confusing. There is course A and course B. which would be the equivalent of the near roads and the far roads. And we divided the boats up. All the J boats were going to go to course A, which was the far roads, and the Beneteaus and Cat 36s are on course B, which is the near roads. We should be using the word venue instead of course. Venue A, venue B. Everybody good with that? Okay. The other usage of the word course stands for the path that you will sail on the venue. And that would be course 3, 4, 5, 6, or 9, and 10. So to clarify, when we're signaling starters, we will use the venue letter, venue A or venue B, over your starting numeral pennant, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And the course that you sail will be 9 or 10. Does that clarify? So what you need to do is look on that starting sheet, and if you are, everybody should understand what their numeral pennant is, numeral pennant 2 or 3, and then put it in your mind whether you're venue A or venue B. And look for an alpha flag or a bravo flag over your number pennant, and that will be your start. And listen to your radio. And 3 questions. Are those all 3 the same questions? So one representative, please present the question.
Can you clarify which VHF frequency you're going to be on?
Good point. Which VHF frequency?
We have 2 radios.
Okay, we'll be on both.
We will be on both. You should be monitoring the channel that's called out in the starting sheets.
6-8. 6-8 far road, 69. You're 69?
If you are on venue A, Alpha, the far roads course, or you're sailing a J boat, you're on 6-8. If you're in a Beneteau or a Catalina 36, you're on 6-9. And that way you don't have to listen to the chatter on the other channel. We have more than one radio on the boat, so we'll communicate to you directly. Try and simplify. Another question in the back.
Will the finish line be on this opposite side of the committee boat or on the same side as the start?
Same side. Same side, yeah.
It is drawn same side. So you simply finish from the direction of the last mark, and it will be the finish line that you started on. Okay? And we hope that doesn't cause a problem. Otherwise, there will be another amendment. Yes, sir.
Is there any provision for warships? If we got warships in there, what do we do?
The question is there a provision for warships? And that's a good question.
No.
Large gray vessels constrained by draft have the right of way over everything all the time forever. So get out of the way. There is no provision for that. That's a rule of the road. Doesn't
Minimum
change.
500 feet.
Not a 500 meter.
The question then next is, what about the 500 meter or yard setback? I think that's not a literal thing because we pass close by all the time, showing no intent to alter our course dramatically and speed into the boats. The Navy security boats that are probably driving, if they give you direction to change course, you should do that. And you shouldn't, whether it's a Navy boat or a cruise liner or the banana boat, remember that the harbor pilots are on board. They may not see you, and they certainly don't understand your intentions. So 5 horns can still get you thrown out of the race. We'll have marked boats on the course. Wayne Coulon, who was in is in the vessel Apollo, which was the signal boat for the near roads course, will also be driving around. We'll be trying to make sure that if there is a large ship on the course, that we're kind of echoing them and moving you guys out of the way. So if you get some direction from a race committee boat, please follow those directions so we can maintain a positive relationship with the commercial traffic in San Diego Bay. Good question. Yes, sir. What?
Order of classes as posted on the board here. For instance,
No.
J109, J105. You said J105.
Those are arbitrary.
Those are arbitrary on that board. There's the sheet that gentleman has is what we're going to be referencing. It's the starting order sheet is the order we're going to take our clue from. More questions, I love them.
All marks will have the board except for the finish line.
Correct.